I have the perfect boyfriend in every way, from his looks to his body to his personality. He matches everything I want perfectly, so perfect it feels like a targeted scam. Until that day when I saw the comments floating by. Does the side character actually think the male lead likes her? If it wasn't for his simp friend threatening to jump off a building, why would he date someone he doesn't love for so long? The simp friend likes the side character himself, but he's too insecure to confess, so he just stays her friend. When she said she was interested in the male lead, he literally trained his own brother to be the perfect boyfriend for her. Insane. Don't worry, when the female lead shows up, the side character will learn the truth and get dumped. I turned in shock to look at my boyfriend beside me. He was frowning, looking annoyed. He said, "No matter how much you stare at me, I'm not wearing that. This outfit is way too much." Ethan was talking about the lingerie I bought him. I pulled it from the gift box. There was barely more fabric than a pair of underwear. What little fabric there was consisted of very suggestive lace. His face turned red the moment he saw the box, whether from anger or embarrassment, maybe both. He rejected it completely without hesitation. I was still processing the fact that someone as amazing as me was apparently the evil side character. I didn't immediately follow up to Ethan. The comment said Ethan was the male led, that I was the evil side character, that he only dated me because his best friend Nathan threatened him. When the female lead appeared, Ethan would quickly realize his true feelings, dump me, and run off to marry her in an arranged marriage turned love story. I would become jealous of the female lead, sabotage everything, and end up dying miserably on the streets. The side character is so shameless. How could someone as cold and proud as the male lead ever wear something so disgusting? This is pure humiliation. The male lead is just playing along on the surface. He already agreed to the family's arranged marriage. He's just playing with the side character. Someone from such an elite family would never marry a country girl. Soon the male lead will abandon the side character, tell her the truth, and get together with the female lead. He only agreed to wear those things before because his simp friend kept threatening to jump off buildings. The male lead is just too loyal. This outfit was definitely way more revealing than the previous ones. I bought him several before, much more revealing than the last, constantly pushing his boundaries. Someone as cold as Ethan always got very emotional about this. Since he was making the sacrifice, I'd always patiently coax him. Ethan would often go silent, step out to take a phone call, and come back willing. I thought it was my persuasion that worked, but according to the comments, it was actually Nathan threatening to jump off buildings. Nathan was a friend I'd known since high school. After college, we got along great. Ethan was his close friend. I met him at Nathan's birthday party, thought he was pretty much my type, but not enough to actively pursue him. I just mentioned it to Nathan once, and he helped set us up. When I saw the comments and learned the truth, I was completely shocked. I'd suspected before that Nathan might like me. He was incredibly accommodating to me. When he didn't admit it, I dropped the thought and never asked again. I never imagined he could go this far. His emotions had strayed way beyond love. His whole approach to relationships had strayed. Way beyond normal. Watching the comments. Blame me indiscriminately, then looking at Ethan's cold face beside me, I couldn't believe it. Does this legendary female lead know that a stranger picked out a non-virgin man for her? Even I, the evil side character, only date virgins. Shouldn't the female lead get something better? Ethan saw I hadn't spoken for so long. He said, "What? Are you mad? Shouldn't I be angrier than you when you brought this outfit to humiliate me? Did you think about my feelings?" Actually, no. I'd always chosen based on my own preferences. Knowing Ethan was proud and needed time to accept things, I'd patiently coax him. Each time, the angrier he got, the longer I'd spend convincing him, the more I'd promise him. Pervert side character, stop touching the male lead. When will the female lead show up to save him? Poor male lead, morally blackmailed by his friend, taken advantage of by an evil woman, forced to lose his innocence. Don't worry, the more the side character enjoys herself now, the worse her future will be. When the male lead meets the female lead and has his awakening, he'll get revenge on the side character, steal all her money, then throw her in the ocean to drown. The comments hit exactly what I cared about most, my money and my life. I never knew offending Ethan would have such serious consequences. Watching the insults and predictions in the comments, I felt like backing down. If that's how it is, my heart sank. The next second, I suddenly flipped over and pinned Ethan to the couch without warning. Since you won't wear it, let's just play directly. As Ethan's pupils dilated with shock and the comments went crazy, I grabbed scissors from the table and cut open his favorite shirt in one slice. The sharp blade pointed at his chin. Feeling humiliated? Let me show you what real humiliation feels like. Before, I treated Ethan like a real boyfriend, so I was willing to coax him. I never showed my nasty side, but since he's just Nathan's toy and the comments are so earnestly warning me off, I might as well let loose and play. Break him completely. I never liked doing what others wanted anyway. Ethan snapped back to reality and grabbed his collar, protecting his abs. He said, "Wait, I need to make a phone call." I said, "To who? Do I need some third parties permission to play with you? Or are you so conservative you need to ask mommy's permission first?" I cut off his shirt. "No need to ask. Call me mommy and I'll say yes. You can even let me break you completely." Ethan turned red instantly. He glared at me angrily, about to explode. I kissed him and he responded with pursed lips. His eyes burned with fury, but his movements clung to me lovingly, determined to regain control. But he had fewer tricks than me. Essentially a man with no real skill, just natural talent. I had him exhausted. In no time, when it was over, Ethan kept his back to me the whole time. He said, "Let's break up. I'm done with you." Probably felt completely humiliated. Don't know what he's so humiliated about. He agreed to be a toy, right? Unless Nathan held a knife to his throat, he could have refused. I said, "Sure." Ethan turned back in disbelief. He probably didn't expect me to agree so easily. Usually, when he put on this wounded, ready to jump in the river expression, I'd immediately start coaxing him, since I often went too far. During our fun, It was hard to find the right balance. After I agreed, he got even angrier, started throwing pillows. Claire, you're unbelievable. You just dummy when you're done playing. Get out. I never want to see you again. Do you think you're so popular and likable? If it wasn't for someone, if I hadn't been temporarily blind, I never would have looked at you. Get out. He threw pillows around me, stirring up cold air. I frowned. If you want to throw a tantrum, go outside. When Ethan threw his fit, he had none of that cold, proud demeanor the comments described. If I could post comments, I'd say he was totally out of character. I lay on my side and said, I'm tired. If anyone's leaving, it's you. Ethan was furious with me, saying he never wanted to see me again. He yelled, I'll just pretend I got bitten by a dog. I hate you. He put on his pants, grabbed his clothes, and stormed out, completely forgetting this was his own house. The comments paused strangely, then said, Dude, why? Are you running? This is your house. Oh. My God, this side character has no shame. Telling him to get out of his own house. Shameless people really do win. How can she even sleep after he ran out? I slept peacefully in the soft big bed. I woke up in Ethan's bed like I owned it, which, given the circumstances, I basically did. The comments had evolved overnight. They were panicking. Their script was supposed to go one way. I had decided to go everywhere else. The phone buzzed. Nathan, can we talk? I made coffee in his kitchen. His, not ours. Never ours. I had just been renting space in someone else's fantasy, and the lease was up. When Ethan came back that morning, he stopped in the doorway of his own apartment like he was afraid I might bite him, which, to be fair, I absolutely would have. Why are you still here? I looked up from my coffee. You told me to get out. Then you laughed. I respected the homeowner's decision. The comments absolutely lost it. Why is she still there? The male lead should have control of his own house. This side character has no shame. We broke up. Ethan said flatly, Yes, congratulations on making that decision yourself. Very independent. He tried to act cold. That was his move, going cold when he felt cornered. But I was already seeing the cracks. The guy who was supposed to be a cold-hearted male lead looked exhausted and embarrassed in his own kitchen. I never loved you, he tried. I smiled. I love the version I ordered. Still checking whether you were delivered, defective, or assembled by Nathan. He went very still. Did Nathan tell you? Not yet, but he will. Manipulative. People always want credit for their manipulation. It's the one thing they can't hide. I finished the coffee set the mug in his sink and walked past him. He didn't try to stop me. Nathan answered on the first ring when I called. He sounded hopeful. Actually, hopeful, like he had been waiting for this call, for some version of this conversation where I finally came to him, needing comfort, needing someone who understood, needing him. We met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. I wore one of his favorite dresses, pale blue, demure, the kind of thing that made him think I was fragile and needed saving. I let him talk first. He talked about Ethan, how resistant he had been at first, how Nathan had to convince him that I was worth the effort, how hard it was to watch someone you care about date someone else how he had made sacrifices. I recorded it all on my phone in my pocket. Did you ever tell him not to? I asked softly. Nathan hesitated. It wasn't like that. So you told him he owed you. I was with you. The way he said it, like he owned my gratitude, like my preferences had been handed to me by him, gift wrapped in his suffering. Show me, I said. Show you. What? How you protected me. I want to know everything you did for me. Nathan actually looked happy, like I was finally recognizing his devotion. He pulled out his phone and showed me his notes. Actual notes. A file labeled Claire. Inside, her favorite colors. What makes her soften when angry? How long to wait before responding? What gifts work on her? How to dress to impress her? What restaurants she prefers? How to touch her? What words make her heart race? There was a whole section on Ethan protocol. How to introduce Ethan gradually. How to make Ethan seem perfect. How to train Ethan to behave correctly. How to manage the relationship from behind the scenes. I felt something cold and sharp crystallize inside my chest. This is I started. Everything I know about you. Nathan finished. Everything I noticed. Everything I wanted to give you. You wanted to give me a man built from stolen instructions. Nathan's face shifted. He wasn't expecting that reaction. He was expecting gratitude or finally admitting I felt the same way about him. Claire, I have to go. I left him there with his pathetic notes and his pathetic dream. I walked to the bathroom and cried for exactly 3 minutes, then fixed my makeup and went home. The comments were having a meltdown. Wait, she knows? This isn't how it's supposed to happen. The female lead hasn't even appeared yet. The female lead did appear 2 weeks later. I met her first by complete accident. We bumped into each other at a gallery opening and started talking about terrible modern art. She had sharp eyes and a sharper voice. She said things nobody else was thinking, but everyone was feeling. Her name was Maya. She worked in venture capital. She had her own apartment, her own money, her own opinions. I'm Ethan's girlfriend. I found myself saying, even though I knew it was already a lie. She laughed. Lucky you. Is that sarcasm? Is that surprising? We got coffee after. Actual. Coffee, not the careful performance I had done with Nathan. I told her the truth, most of it. She listened to all of it and said, so your friend engineered your entire relationship like a startup and you're just here? Where else would I be? Anywhere. Literally. Anywhere that isn't with a man who doesn't know how to want you without a manual. That's when I knew I liked her. She saw the whole picture and didn't offer sympathy. She offered honesty. Ethan met Maya at a formal dinner. His family had hosted it. Some ridiculous thing about family business and potential matches. He didn't know Maya was coming. He didn't know I had called his mother and mentioned a friend I thought they should meet. The comments absolutely panicked when they realized what was happening. This is it. The female lead. Ethan's true destiny. Claire, the side character, watches as the real heroine arrives. Your downfall begins now, except nothing was going according to script. Ethan looked at Maya like he was looking at a menu he couldn't read. He tried to act cold and impressive. He mentioned how I had been complicated, and how he had been forced into that relationship. Maya listened to 3 minutes of this and asked, "So you let another man emotionally blackmail you into dating someone, and I'm supposed to trust that you know how to make your own choices?" The comment section glitched. That's not she's not supposed to. Why isn't she falling for the male? Led, the script is breaking. I'm sorry. You are? Maya continued, looking directly at him. Ethan. Well, Ethan, you seem like someone who needed a flowchart to figure out how to date the last girl. I don't have time to be anyone's learning curve. She finished her wine and left. Ethan sat there in front of his family, completely demolished by a woman who had known him for 8 minutes. Thank you for listening to Channel Gold Novel. Nathan came to my apartment unannounced. He looked broken. His hair was unwashed. He had been crying. He tried to confess. Actually confess like it was some romantic moment where I would finally understand that his emotional sabotage was actually devotion. I did everything because I loved you, he said. You did everything because you wanted to control me without asking permission. I suffered for you. You didn't suffer. You orchestrated. Those are different. Nathan reached for my hand. I pulled away. You never loved me, Nathan. You loved being the martyr in a story where I owed you my heart. You didn't confess because confession gives someone a choice. You built a man for me because puppets don't reject the puppeteer. His face crumpled. For a second, I almost felt bad. Then I remembered the file, the notes, the way he had studied me. Like a project. Get out. He didn't leave. He threatened to disappear, to hurt himself. Same old pattern. So I called 911. I sat there on my couch while he looked at me in betrayal and said, "You're not calling. I am, because I am not your hostage." The emergency services arrived. His parents were called. His therapist was involved. For the first time, his emotional blackmail wasn't a secret between us. It was documented, professional, no longer his private weapon. His mother looked at me like she was finally seeing something she had been ignoring for years. The viral moment came at Nathan's own birthday party. He threw it the week after everything fell apart. I don't know why. Maybe he thought he could reset things. Maybe he was in denial. I wasn't supposed to be there, but Maya brought me, and Claire, the supposed evil side character, walked in looking flawless and calm, completely unmoved by the fact that the comments had promised her misery. The comments absolutely glitched. Why is she smiling? She's supposed to be devastated. The story is broken. I stood in the center of the room and smiled at Nathan. Thanks for the file, I said. It was really educational. He froze. I pulled out my phone and projected the images onto the wall. His preference file, the one he had been so proud of, listed out for everyone to see. How to calm Claire when angry. Look wounded, she will soften. Ethan protocol. Introduce slowly, make him seem perfect. Train him to behave correctly. If she wants something embarrassing, let her want it for 5 minutes, then agree. She enjoys the chase. His family looked at the wall and realized what their son had been doing. His friends shifted uncomfortably. Ethan, who had been standing in the corner, went completely white. I turned To him, you were not forced to date me. You were too weak to refuse and too selfish to stop enjoying it. Then I played the recordings of him and Nathan, fighting about who was more responsible, who had manipulated who more successfully. The comments absolutely lost it. Wait, what? The side character is exposing everyone? The male lead is not a victim? The female lead is not coming to save him? Maya, standing beside me, looked at Ethan and said the line that would be quoted for months. I was told you were the male lead. All I see is a man who needs other people to choose his spine for him. Then she turned to me, want to get out of here? Nathan tried to beg me in the parking lot. He said he had changed. He said he was getting help. He said he just wanted one chance. I let him say all of it. Then getting help means you finally stopped making your emotions my emergency. I walked away. He called after me, but I didn't turn around. Ethan tried to apologize weeks later. I let him have one sentence. I'm sorry I made you the villain because I was too weak to be honest. Good, I said, keep that honesty. Use it on someone who still cares. I left him standing there with that apology, which was his to carry now. The viral videos kept spreading. Clips of the preference file. The slideshow of Nathan's notes, me saying I had been dating a man built from stolen customer data, Maya rejecting Ethan, Nathan begging in the parking lot. The comments evolved. They stopped predicting. They started laughing. The villainess survived the story. The male lead lost to a woman with a smile. The female lead refused to be the prize. Wait, is this a happy ending? It wasn't a ending. It was a hostile takeover. I didn't date for 3 months. I was busy being free, busy having coffee with Maya, busy sleeping in my own bed, busy remembering what it felt like to want something just because I wanted it, not because I had been trained to want it. The comments were still floating around sometimes, glitching out when they tried to predict what would happen next. Is she really alone by choice? Can the side character just be happy? Then Adrian walked in. He came into my life like someone had finally read the room correctly. He saw the whole mess, the exploded relationship, the exposed manipulation, the revenge montage, and instead of running away, he smiled. He didn't need instructions. When I tested him by being difficult, he smiled and said, then I'll read the warning label and still open the box. He meant it. We had our first date at a restaurant that was not on Nathan's preference file. We had our first kiss without anyone needing to train him on the technique. He didn't ask my parents' permission. He didn't need Nathan's blessing. He didn't need Ethan's approval. He just wanted me, the real me, the shameless, cruel, brilliant, playful me that had spent the last year learning that the scariest thing you can be is authentically yourself. The last time I saw Nathan, he was waiting outside my office building. He looked healthier, actually healthier, like he had finally been doing the work. Instead of just saying he was, I got help, he said, real help, and I understand now what I did wrong. Good. I was hoping maybe eventually. No, I said, not unkindly, just completely, finally, no. I know. I just wanted to tell you that I finally understand it wasn't love. It was control. I nodded. He walked away. The comment showed up one last time. The plot is broken. The villainess survived. The male lead lost. The female lead refused to be saved. Wait, is this actually a happy ending? I was in Adrian's apartment. He was making dinner. He was singing off-key. He was doing all of this because he wanted to, not because someone had trained him to. I smiled and texted Maya a photo of the kitchen chaos. She texted back, "Love in its most chaotic form. I approve." Adrian looked over his shoulder. "What are you smiling about?" They're still trying to figure out how the story went. "Wrong," I said. "Did it go wrong?" "No. I just rewrote it." He kissed me like someone who had never needed instructions. And that's when I finally understood. The evil side character was never supposed to win, but I wasn't playing a side character. I was the one holding the pen. Leave a comment telling me, did they deserve what happened to them, or do you think the revenge should have been even harsher? And if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more emotional drama and revenge stories.